Have you ever had something really important to do and somehow ended up cleaning your entire room instead? Or maybe you opened your laptop to start studying and 3 hours later, you've learned everything about penguins, but nothing about your exam. That's procrastination. And you already know it's a problem. But what if I told you that the reason you procrastinate isn't laziness? It's not even a lack of motivation. It's confusion. Yes, confusion. When we don't fully understand what we're supposed to do, or why it matters, or even where to begin, our brains hit the brakes. Instead of moving forward, we loop in delay mode. We scroll, we snack, we sleep. But here's the twist. If confusion is the problem, then clarity is the cure. And no one understood clarity better than Richard Feynman. Feynman was a Nobel Prize-winning physicist, but more than that, he was a master explainer. He believed that if you couldn't explain something simply, you didn't understand it well enough. And here's the beautiful part. His method for breaking down complex ideas, it works just as well for breaking down tasks and defeating procrastination. Let's walk through it, step by step. First, think about something you've been putting off. It could be writing a paper, planning a trip, applying for a job, anything that's been sitting on your mental to-do list like a brick. Now take that task and explain it like you're teaching it to a 10-year-old. Seriously, grab a notebook, write at the top, what am I trying to do? Then answer that question in the simplest way possible. Let's say your task is finish my business proposal. That sounds big, abstract, stressful. But what does it really mean? You might write, I want to convince someone that my idea is worth investing in. Much clearer. Now keep going. What's the first thing you need? Maybe understand what my idea really solves. Good. Then figure out who I'm pitching to. Great. Next, write a one-page summary. Boom, the fog starts to lift. And here's the magic. Every time you break the task into simpler, smaller chunks, your brain shifts from confusion to action. It stops panicking and starts planning. Because now, it's not finish the business proposal, it's write one paragraph about the problem. That's manageable. That's doable. And once you're doing, even just a little, you're no longer procrastinating. This process is the heart of what we now call the Feynman technique. And it has 4 steps. Choose a topic or task, explain it in simple words, identify what you don't understand, go back, fill in the gaps, and simplify again. Now imagine using this technique not to study physics, but to untangle your own mental blocks. Every time you feel stuck, you ask, what am I really trying to do? You answer it simply, you find the gaps, and then you close them. And in doing so, you move. You stop fearing the task because it's no longer a mountain. It's a staircase. And all you have to do is take the next step. If you're enjoying this so far, give the video a like so more people can learn this 10 times faster. Let's clear up another myth. People often say, I just need more discipline. But discipline without clarity is like driving with no map. You're pressing the gas pedal, but you don't know where to go. The truth is, motivation and discipline become much easier when your path is clear. You don't need to feel like it, you just need to see the next action. And that's what Feynman's method gives you. Not motivation, not pressure, understanding. Understanding leads to clarity, clarity leads to movement, and movement destroys procrastination. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine someone says, I need to get in shape. That's vague, unclear, overwhelming. But what if they apply the Feynman technique? They write, I want to feel healthier and have more energy. Okay, why? Because I get tired climbing stairs and I want to play with my kids without losing breath. Good. Now, what would getting in shape look like? Maybe go for a 15-minute walk every morning. There it is, one clear step. That's how vague hopes turn into specific action.
Now here's something fascinating. Once your brain has that specific action, something changes. The resistance fades. You no longer have to argue with yourself for hours. You just get up and walk. This is what makes the Feynman technique 10x faster than most productivity hacks. It doesn't force you to do things. It teaches your brain to want to do them, because now the task makes sense. See, your brain hates vagueness. It's like trying to hold fog in your hands. But the moment you give your brain structure, when you say, here's what I'm doing and here's why it matters, it clicks. It knows what to do next. That's why students who study with the Feynman technique learn faster. That's why writers who use it beat writer's block. That's why people who feel overwhelmed suddenly become unstoppable. Because clarity cuts through chaos. But let's go deeper. One of the biggest lies we tell ourselves is this: I'll do it later. We think later is a magical time when we'll have more energy, more focus, more motivation. But later is a myth. Later is a trap. What you're really saying is, I don't know how to start. That's the real issue. So here's a trick. The next time you catch yourself saying, I'll do it later, pause, grab a pen, write the task at the top of a blank page, and then Feynman it. Break it down, explain it simply, look for what's unclear, fill in the blanks, and shrink it until it fits in your hands. The smaller and simpler the step, the faster you'll move. Let's try one more. Say your task is launch my online store. That sounds huge, unbearable. But if we use Feynman's method, we ask, what does that actually mean? Maybe it's pick one product I believe in. Then figure out who would buy it. Then write one sentence about why they need it. Suddenly, launch an online store becomes write a sentence. And once you write that sentence, the next step feels easier. This is how people go from stuck to successful. One simple explanation at a time. Remember, the key isn't to push harder, it's to think clearer. It's not about discipline or hustle or guilt-tripping yourself into action. It's about asking, do I actually understand what I'm trying to do? And if the answer is no, explain it. Break it down. Use your own words. Teach it to a 10-year-old in your head. Because once you can explain it simply, you can act on it swiftly. So, let's recap. The 10x faster way to overcome procrastination? It's not about changing who you are. It's about changing how you think. Pick one task you've been avoiding, write it down, explain it like you're teaching a kid, spot the parts that feel confusing or vague, simplify, shrink the task until it feels clear and actionable, do the next step, just the next one. That's it. And the more you use this method, the more natural it becomes. Soon, procrastination isn't your default. Clarity is. Leave me a comment with the next big idea you want me to break down for you. You see, this isn't just about getting things done. It's about reclaiming your focus, your confidence, your time. Because every moment you delay is a moment you could have used to move, to build, to grow. But every time you break it down, every time you simplify, you send your brain a powerful message. I understand this. I can handle this. I'm already doing it. That's how Feynman thought. That's how you can think too. And don't forget to subscribe to 10x Faster. New videos every week to help you learn faster and think clearly.